Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the Echo Base Preshow. I'm your host, Grand Admiral Loki, and with me tonight is the Dark One, Lord Poppy. How are you doing, Mexican Iron Man?
The darkness of the metachlorian salsa flows through my nacho chips.
The Mexichlorians.
The Mexichlorian. Yeah. The Mexichlorians. Yeah. So Mexichlorians is what you get when you're like in the Star Wars universe and you're Mexican, and that's why you have Mexichlorian count. You have a high Mexichlorian count. Yeah.
And Stephanie from the Smuggler's Cantina, it's National Drive Like an Asshole Day today. Be careful out in the space lanes, Stephanie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, be careful out in the hyperspace lanes.
Oh, no. Watch out for them little kids that are driving, vehicles they shouldn't be driving, especially if their name's Anakin. If they're little kids,
Uh-huh.
Get it? Prequel? Phantom?
Dun.
Hold on. That was a funny one. Hold on. See, I brought my own laugh tracks this time.
And good evening, everyone. Good evening, Eastland Burkholder, Keely Chow, Purple Valkyrie. Good evening, Purple Valkyrie. Darth Metalorian. Good evening, Darth. Sam Aeon. Good evening, Sam. The Catman, aka Dee Myers. Good evening. Good evening, Prius drivers. They're the bane of the world. Yes. Get rid of them.
No, you know who the worst ones are? Nissan Sentra drivers. Dude, I was going through Texas when I was driving across country. I must have seen, I don't even know how many Nissan Sentras like flying down that highway.
Really?
Oh, it was awful.
Absolutely. Keely Chow, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Chris Persia, my wrenches are here. Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for being here. So let's dive right in today. We've got a book to cover. We've got some stuff to talk about, and we've got a lightsaber to look at. Let's look at that book. What book do you have for us today for our Star Wars Echo Base pre-show Saturday?
Coming right up, boss. Here, let me just share my screen. Providing the education to the people in the dark side of the Sith universe who are fans of Grand Admiral Loki and want to learn more. Yeah. That's what we do here. All right. Well, today's book is building a little bit on last week's book of the week, which, as we know, was the Jedi Manual, and we specifically covered the different types of sword fighting. Well, this is an interesting book. It's called Sword Fighting in the Star Wars Universe, and it's by a guy named Nick Hamiya, and it focuses on the historical origins, style, and philosophy. And it specifically goes into it specifically covers what we see in the original 3 movies. It then adds additional information from sword fighting from the lightsaber fighting that we saw in the prequels, and it completely totally excludes anything and everything once Disney took over. So
in the original trilogy, they were more like broadswords. They were supposed to be heavy. They had weight to them. Once you ignited them, they got heavy, like a broadsword. In the prequels, Nick Gillard completely redid all that. The guy who did all the fighting, the guy who basically created the forms of combat for Jedi, Nick Gillard, went back and said, no, there's almost no weight to them. So that's why you get such a different flashiness to the styles compared from the original trilogy to the prequel trilogy.
That's why I love doing shows with you, because I'm with somebody who knows their stuff. Good job. All right. So on the back of the book, it reads like this, everybody, for those listening and not necessarily looking at the screen. Unlike most makers of modern or futuristic films, George Lucas turned away from standard special operatives or secret agents when he created the heroes for the epic Star Wars saga. Part knight, part monk, the Jedi Knights were an order of swordsmen that helped rule the universe in accordance with law and lofty principles of justice and honor. Without the Jedi, there could be no Star Wars, and without the lightsaber sword, there could be no Jedi. This book is an examination of Jedi Knights, their adversaries, the Sith, and their lightsaber swordplay throughout all 6 episodes of the franchise, and evaluates the ways in which Lucas blended science fiction with the most ancient and epic tales of traditional samurai and Western swordsmen. It presents swordsmanship as a way to better understand the Jedi Knights, focusing on the human movement and activities surrounding the weapon and the ways in which traditional Japanese martial arts were adapted for use in the films. An educator and writer, Nick Hamiya, has represented the Philippines at the World University Games and the World Fencing Championships. He has taught fencing and martial arts and created the lightsaber choreography for the independent Star Wars film Revelations. All right. Now let's take a look at what's inside this book here. In the table of contents, we have chapter 1 focuses on Jedi combat and honor. And I'm going to be calling on you real quickly here, Grand Admiral Loki, to expand upon what you just talked about, because it's going to play right into one of the readings that I'm going to do from the book. So get ready, boss.
All right.
Jedi culture, the Jedi Order, lightsaber and the Force. Chapter 3 talks about Master, Padawan, and the apprentice relationship. Chapter 4, the historical precedents of the Jedi. Chapter 5, the nature of the sword, how the sword actually works. Sword style is chapter 6. Talking about movements that create victory when you're in a duel. Chapter 7 is focuses on choreography. And chapter 8 discusses the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy and a critique of the original trilogy when it comes to what they did with the lightsaber. I think we've got a super chat.
We do. Snowed Up Live with the $5 super chat said, "Skull and tuck and roll. Hashtag justice for Jolly. Hashtag Cotton Connection." Thank you so very much, Snowdub. You guys keep the fires burning bright here on Valhalla. Thank you, brother. And a $1.99 super chat from Mark the Infinitely Tired. Trend hashtag Darth Poopy.
What? Wait, we're like 8 minutes into the show right now. 8 minutes into the show, and I already got to deal with the Darth Poopy crap. Oh my God! Did I just say Darth Poopy crap?
Yes, you said Darth Poopy crap.
See, I'm being traumatized. No. See, I said Darth Poopy crap.
And a $5 super chat from Shum. Make that 3 super chats in a row. Woo, made it. Has anyone brought up Darth Poopy yet? If not, Darth Poopy.
Dang you, Shum. Shum, for that this is what you get. You get one of these. And Mark the Infinitely Tired gets a. Yeah.
Actually, all 3 of them get one of these. Skull! Dun, 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 since we're talking about sword combat. Anyway.
And then to build upon, I'm going to call on you next right after this section here. For the sake of brevity, in the book, he basically covers episodes 1 through 6. And one of the things that he states, it says, because of the plethora of Star Wars materials, I principally consider the original movies, their screenplays, and novels, which are considered, for the sake of argument, canon sources of information. Gotta love this guy. And no knowledge of the expanded universe is required, though some mention of it is made throughout this book and in the endnotes. So what I'd like to talk about is right before we get into the reading that I have, which is a couple pages that comes in a minute. I want to talk to you. I want to expand upon what you were talking about, Grand Admiral Loki, which is that when you look at the original movies, you look at the hilt. And when you look at that first time that Luke sees it and Obi-Wan has it, and that the fight of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, where Luke is watching on, what are the things you notice about those hilts that they're holding in terms of size and the style, in terms of how they're using that? What could you give us? Can you spend a few minutes talking about that?
The original idea was that you had a force field holding back plasma. So hot plasma in the blade, and that basically a force field covered it, and you're basically holding weight. So it goes from weighing almost nothing to holding on to that energy, that plasma, and then you've got weight in your blade. So it's not just and like the prequels where Anakin's swinging it everywhere and Obi-Wan's just like whoosh, 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 whoosh. You got a sword that suddenly has weight to it, and you have to hold on to it like it has weight. Okay, when you see the fight with Vader and Luke in Empire Strikes Back, when it starts, he's holding that one hand and he's got one hand behind his back. He is using a fencing style to fight. Whereas Luke's holding on with both hands. And then when he reaches out to try and one-hand it, it's almost too much for him. And Vader's able to slip his blade out from his hand. He's actually able to disarm him because of the weight of that blade. Luke can't hold on to it like he should be able to hold on to it. They were told these weapons, when you turn them on, impart weight. Now, when Nick Gillard took over in the prequels, that suddenly wasn't the way it was. Oh, you can flip it, you can spin it, you can do all these things that they didn't think about doing in the original movie.
So what you're talking about now is what happens, what we see when we get into the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Speak more about when you look at the hilt. What does it look like? What are they doing with it in the fights that we did not see in A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi?
You can do almost anything with a lightsaber compared to what they did in the originals. The way you see Dooku fight is the closest you will get to the original trilogy in terms of lightsaber combat. Everything else is going to take a more fantasy like aspect of lightsaber combat and bring it to the forefront.
And isn't it fair to say that last week on our show, when we talked about the different style, what's the super chat here from Sam? Oh, it's my buddy Sam. Wait, what does he say? I can't
Sam
see it.
Aon with a £5 super chat. Have you heard the tragedy of Darth Poopy the Incontinent?
What?
He was so constipated that he could use the Force to project pain on others. That would have to be a stopped up moment.
Oh, hell no, Sam Aon. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. No. Where? Okay, on this dashboard, where's that no song from Coach? Where's that? I'm looking in the buttons here. Hold on. Where's it? No, that's not it. Oh, where is the no song? Sam Aon. No, he gets a skull or something, doesn't he?
Yes, he absolutely gets his skull. Thank you so much, Sam Aon. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And we've got a special skull just for that Darth Constipation skull. I must say the chat really has your number, and that number is number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2.
Okay, you know what, everybody in the chat stream? Mexican Iron Man is Darth Poopy or Darth Poppy. Shit! I did it! God got it! You see what happens? I start reading the chat stream, and I said that's Darth Poppy. Poppy. You guys are inside my head now. Hold on. I gotta get in touch with my Mexichlorian count. Hold on, let me
Holy shit is right, ladies and gentlemen.
No, there you go, doing it again. Okay.
Even Purple Valkyrie's getting involved here.
Oh no, Purple, no, Purple, no. You know what I was gonna say? You guys are gonna make me cry. Someone hold my tissue, but then that's like another joke. Get it? Hold my tissue.
And good evening, Echo Base Network.
Is that Coach or Nick? Who is that?
It's probably Nick.
Whoever that is, Nick or Coach, Mexican Iron Man, aka Darth Poppy, is under attack over here. I'm just trying to do two things. I'm trying to share knowledge about Book of the Week and Lightsaber of the Week, and utilizing my Mexichlorian account, I'm trying to inspire fear amongst Echo Base Network and fear amongst the Jedi crowd. Because I am Darth Poppy and my Mexichlorian count is high, and I am inspiring fear in all of you. Fear using my lightning fingers. Wait, I think that's static electricity from my laptop. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay,
Oh,
whatever.
my Lord, ladies and gentlemen.
Whatever. All right, well, back to the
It's
story.
Nick. It's Nick, by the way.
Hi, Nick.
Yes.
I'm getting beat up here. Get in here in a few minutes. We're going to talk about the rumor mill. And I'm sure Nick will have some opinions on that. All right, so what I'd like to do now is I'm going to do this little reading about this chart here, and then we can move on to our topic of the day. And let me just do this little reading. Codes of conduct. While survival was at the forefront of the soldiers' thoughts during combat, it became evident after any clash that a favorable outcome was highly dependent on the training and preparation of the soldiers. Raw courage and determination were always important traits of the warrior, but skill and preparation guaranteed that the human spirit was not unnecessarily hamstrung before the battle had even begun. The experienced soldier realizes that once the battlefield was left, there was another world in which he must live, that of civilized society. And this was the world of the Jedi, who served as protectors of the galactic universe. Now, in the book, he talks about this little chart here. And basically what it says is that protection of one's honor is preserved by the duel. The duel protects your honor. Okay, so I got my little mouse working here. Internal personal motivation for the duel stems from self-regulation and takes place in a non-military situation within a civilian society. Sometimes you have obligatory external motivation, which stems from the rules and pressure of a former military institution, i.e. the state. And whether a duel is fought for personal reasons or whether it's adherence to military obligations, there's only two results. Either honor is preserved in the duel or death is inflicted when you lose the duel. So this is like a little chart now. I would modify this chart because since Jedi Master Paul of those those Star Wars guys or the Star Wars guys or whatever they call themselves, the Star Wars guys that have never seen any movies that are important. Did I go there? Did I go there? Okay, so basically here for Paul, Jedi Master Paul, we would change this. So here there's a matter of the duel. There would be and then between honor and destruction would probably be honor of Mexican Iron Man winning, destruction of Paul, aka it could also be I fall down on a garden hose if we're doing this like outdoors, and then the duel is the pressure between smack talking and smack talking. Okay, so smack talking and smack talking leads to the duel, and there will be honor or Mexican Iron Man may fall over a garden hose as he's trying to battle Master Jedi Paul. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so one of the things that I wanted to state is that I'm about a third of the way through this book right now. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up on screen here. And what this book really is. So now I'm going to give you my little bit of analysis here. So here's the actual book. Okay. Here's the book right here. Is someone talking smack? My money is on my. Thank you, Sam. And that would be Darth Poppy, Sam. For those who aren't sure, it would be Darth Poppy. Yes, thank you, Sam. You know, we're gonna get some T-shirts made. The Duel of the Quesadillas. Yeah, Soul Assassin.
Quesadillas.
Oh my God, I should get shirts made. So we should get blue and black, or no, we should get green and black shirts made that say Team Darth Poppy. That's what we should get. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying this book here. I'm not done with it, but I'm about a third of the way through it. Well, maybe a fourth of the way, somewhere, maybe a little more than that. But what this book is interesting is what it talks about the historical origins of classic Japanese swordsmanship and Western swordsmanship, and how those histories then come together and are manifested in what we see in the Star Wars universe. Now, ultimately, the beautiful thing is what you covered last week, you and I both covered last week, is that when you get to the different Jedi styles, and what we find in Star Wars is that the perfect execution of those styles of fighting, from the lightsabers. I really think that is the expression to the extent to which the Eastern and the Western styles then manifest themselves and come together, because that's really what happened in the Star Wars universe. You know, regardless of who choreographed episodes 4, 5, and 6, or 1, 2, and 3. What they brought to the table is their experiences in Eastern sword fighting and Western style as well.
Yes.
Okay, that's my reading of the book of the week. And everybody, it is spelled. I'm sure there are lots of questions. P-A-P-I. Yes. And what is the meaning of Darth Poppy? Well, basically, the meaning is, in my own head, I came up with this definition. Admiral Loki. I'm not sure if you like it or not, but basically, the Sith ladies want him, and then the Sith dudes want to be like him. Yeah. That's how I'm going to define it. Darth Poppy. Yeah.
The Star Wars guy says, here's the difference. Mexican Iron Man studies saber fighting from an out-of-universe point of view. I study it from an in-universe point of view. I just pretend to be Obi-Wan.
Well, you probably study it from behind your Xbox, and I study it from being in front of the nacho bar and the buffet at the local taqueria.
And yes, Star Wars guys, beware your fingers. When in doubt, go for the fingers. Absolutely badass.
Poor Paulie. I asked him if me and Paul, we're gonna meet. Paulie's gonna try and meet up with us, I think, in Texas, either whenever that thing is in October. The convention,
Retropalooza convention.
Yeah, if not then earlier for his birthday in September. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, you want to film a rematch?" And Paulie was like, "No."
Yep. And Nick, if you're still there, check your DMs, bud. There is an invitation if you want to get in on this conversation we're about to have. About.
Want me to do the lightsaber of the week real quick, or
if you want to, it's up to you. If you want to do it first before we get into this DC versus Sutton conversation, by all means.
All right, hold on. Let me find it and bring it up here. Okay, hold on. Stand by. Talk about read some chats for a minute. Give me a minute. Read some
Coach.
chats.
Apparently, Coach says hi, Poopy.
Hi, Coach. Coach. No, it's Poppy. Where did this Poopy come from? Who originally created that? Was that Mark?
That was Mark. That was Mark to Emily.
I mean, I love him. What am I going to do? Not love him anymore?
And Brown Lantern conveniently came up with your brown Sith Lord. You could almost say Darth Poopy Sithed his pants.
You're just enjoying this, aren't you?
Yes.
See right there, you missed an opportunity to say that these are unjust and this is not right, and no.
Be careful of that, Star Wars guys. You could back him up.
What? Darth Poopy, the greatly backed up. No, Darth Haster! You are no. Hold on. No, I'm going to take that. That comment gets one of these. That's a no thank you explosion.
Darth Poopy certainly sticks. He sithed himself.
What? No, wait. Is this turning into a make fun of Darth Poppy show? No.
Metacusal. He's lacking in metacusal.
Mexichlorian. Wait a minute. Is that stuff that you get for when you're irregular?
The poop is strong with this one.
Nah, Andrew, I know you. I'm watching you. I'm going to use my zzz. I need a sound effect with a zzz. I got to find that. Where's that? Wait, is it this one?
Stephanie from the Smuggler's Cantina with a $4.99 super chat says it's actually Cameron versus Sutton. Sutton has nothing in the actual legit press to corroborate what he's saying. Well, we haven't really started talking about it yet, Stephanie.
No, that's
still waiting on Nick.
All right, I got the lightsaber ready.
Lightsabers ready. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Lightsaber of the week from the collection of Mexican Iron Man. All right, here we go. You got to share it. I can't share it, I think.
All right. Oh, look at that case.
Guess what's in the mystery box? We don't know. It's going to be a lightsaber, or would it be 2 lightsabers?
Those are the Ahsoka Tano lightsabers.
They are. Now, I don't own very many. I don't own very many Star Wars Disney product type things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Of lightsabers. And Lord knows, I bought these a while back. So there were two versions of Ahsoka Tano lightsabers. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Are you aware, Loki, that there's
She
two?
had two. She had two in the Clone Wars, and then she had two lightsabers in Rebels.
Right. And the difference was what?
Oh, they were different. They were two different lightsaber sets.
Right. One were curved and the others were more straight.
Yes.
And they both of them one was longer, and then one was shorter, and she wielded them both simultaneously. Now these, and we're not quite sure why this happened, but we think it has to do with Disney trying to, stick with recent stuff. I don't know what they did, why they did this, but this set has now been discontinued, and so I was able to get these before there was a run on them because you can't get these anymore. You can only get the other style of Ahsoka Tano lightsabers. And these ones here are pretty heavy and thick. I mean, real heavy. So one of the things that the Disney, what I'm just going to call it Disney lightsabers, all of them have in common is they're all very unwieldy. They're all very heavy. They all run off of AAA batteries, and they all have the buttons in stupid places. So that if you're actually trying to use these, like basically all of the Disney lightsabers are pretty much not good for having fun or even twirling it by yourself or anything at all. And frankly, I don't even think they're really good for cosplay unless I don't even think they're really good for cosplay.
The build your own ones at the Saber Forge, the handles are gigantic.
Oh, that's
guys, I can palm a basketball and they're big to me, and I can palm a basketball in one hand.
And those lightsabers are just, that was actually going to be the lightsaber of the week, the Galaxy's Edge one, where you go in the build your own. That was going to be the lightsaber today, but guess what? I couldn't actually unscrew it because I wanted to show the pictures of the inside of those, because you put together the hilt and the pommel and all this other stuff. So I picked this one instead because I couldn't unscrew it. They got stuck, and we'll deal with those next. I'm going to show that one off next week, and go over the right and good. Now, these have gone up significantly in value from when I bought them. I'll tell you that much. These are now going for an average of, they're in good quality to excellent quality with the box. They're like $700-800. Originally, when these came out, they were like $200. I've seen some guys sell them for as much as $1,000. So these have definitely gone up, but they're not light, and they're definitely something that you just sort of display, whether you leave them in the box and just lift the box lid up, type of thing. That's another way to display them, or whether you actually get like a little rack. This is a little rack. I got this on Etsy, I think, or eBay. I got this for like $3. This little stand here, and then you have your little one here, and then the bigger one there, and then you can actually see them because these things are cylindrical. They're not round. These are oval, and you can tell right here by the picture that they're definitely have an oval shape to them too. Here, let me grab another picture. You can see that? You see how they're not round type of thing. So, and then in terms of weight, just to show
ungainly to try and hold that.
There's two problems with it. We'll take a look at this one. This one right here. Here, let me rotate this here. Rotate counterclockwise, rotate clockwise again. Okay, so this one here is the long one. Look at that. It's 2 pounds, 3 ounces. That's 2.2.7. So
is that with the batteries in it, or?
Yeah, but it's only got 3 AAAs. So the batteries aren't much of it's not like it's got a big ass rechargeable NiCad in there adding all that weight. These are just 3 AAA batteries that are in here. And AAA batteries don't weigh much, right? And then we got this one over here. The smaller one is
$1.15.
1.1. Yeah, 1.1. Yeah, like one. If you round up 1.2 pounds. I mean, that's not light. And by the way, oh doggone it! Why do I keep doing that? Hold on. I think there's a lag. All right, I'll just do it one more time and then stop. This doesn't even include the the blade. Okay, now the blades don't weigh that much, but the blades do weigh, depending on how long they are, another 4 to 8 ounces. So you got 2 pounds on the right, on your left hand here, right? And then this one over here, you're running 3 pounds.
I've got a katana that's fully functional that weighs less than that.
Right. I'll bet. Wait, who made yours? Oh, you mean an actual katana, a real katana?
Yes, a real katana made in Japan in the old style.
Right. Right. And you know what these guys tried to do is just these are well thought out. Here's another problem: the fact that, let's say you actually are holding this and you're trying to play around lightsaber. You know, you're doing a little fun play, maybe not full force dueling, but you're trying to have fun. I'm going to tell you, I hit these damn ass buttons accidentally over and over and over again. So what happens then is that you're in the middle of trying to do some kind of little Ahsoka trick or twirl or whatever, and you accidentally hit this button and the damn thing goes off. It happens all the time. The other thing I'm showing these off because I know there are some people. I got some comments in between the shows like, "Hey, are you ever going to talk about Disney lightsabers?" And I don't own that many. I only own 3. These are 2 of them, and then I have the do-it-yourself build one because the rest of my collection are from different companies. So now, why do you But the reason why I got this is I had heard a rumor a long time ago that they were going to discontinue it, and I want to get my hands on it. So before they actually discontinued it, I got my hands on the set, and they've gone up in value. But so people that are into this are those collectors that just want to say, there's a ton of lightsaber collectors that they just want to have all the Disney lightsabers. You know what I mean? They want to say that they've got this one, that one, and there's that's certainly a subgroup of the lightsaber community, what I would call. But these are certainly not good for dueling. They're not good for having fun. They're basically stick them in the box, put them somewhere in the corner. And in fact, these things sit on display downstairs, separate and apart from all of my other lightsabers that I have, because I just never want to pick them up and put the blade in them and even have fun. Sometimes as a break, not often, but maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, I'll pick up a lightsaber and twirl it, if I'm really stressed out and I want to break from work. But these things here, they're so unwieldy. And here's another one, Loki, really weird. I don't know why this is, but for some reason, the Star Wars lightsabers, there's something about how the battery and the electronics are done that if they're around something else that has a remote control, like an LED light, these things drain out and they start making noise. They start making noises and they bleed out their own batteries.
Yep.
So, have you heard of that before?
I have. I have, but I don't. That's why I don't own any Disney sabers. I own Ultra Sabers. And Soul Assassin asks, which is better, Ultra Saber or Saber Forge?
Okay.
I really like Ultra Saber.
Who asked that question?
Soul Assassin.
Soul Assassin, hit me up on Twitter for an answer to that question, and give us 2 more weeks, because next week's lightsaber is going to be an Ultra Saber, and I've already done 2 Saber Forge ones already. Actually, I can answer this question right now. Let me answer this question like this. And I've hold on. Where's one of them? Yeah, it's right here. Hold on. Give me a second.
Welcome, Nick.
What up?
How you doing, brother?
Guy, I was freaking out because my internet went out, and I was like, "Crap, because Coach is out tonight." So I was like, "If I can't get this fixed, I might have to cancel tonight." And it just started working. I don't know what's going on. We got some storms rolling through here, so.
Well, yeah, of course you do. You got that tropical storm hurricane Ida. Is it Ida?
Yeah, all the outskirts of it are hitting us right now, like the way outskirts.
It's crazy.
So, but I did just confirm Purple is going to make her first appearance on the show tonight.
Nice. Heck yeah. Congrats, Purple.
Yep. So Purple will be there. Saggy Melons will be there.
Yay!
Who's kind of on the opposite side of our normal communities. Cameron Pasha is going to be on there. And my friend Brittany, who watched Star Wars for the first time just a couple months ago, because I wanted to kind of get her normie perception of a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight.
Well, Cameron's going to be in hog heaven. Beautiful women all
Yeah.
the way around.
Yeah, he was. Well, I asked him if he was free to come on, and I was going to have him and Robert Meyer Burnett back on, but Rob's actually on his way back from Portland back to LA. So Cameron was like, "Can you hook up any beautiful ladies for the show tonight?" And I was like, "Probably so."
That's Saber Forge.
All right. No, this is Ultra Saber. Okay,
That's
so this
Ultra
is
Saber.
so I grabbed an Ultra Saber one here, and what I want to highlight is that it's black and silver. This is one of their standard inventory ones. It's light. It's got the blade in it. I don't know if this thing even weighs more than 1.5 pounds. I don't have it charged right now, so I can't turn it on and show you the sound. But it's absolutely excellent. It's light. It's fun. And I have the one that doesn't have. You can get this with engraving or not. Now, this is something that if you order it, it's going to show up within 3 weeks at your house. And if it doesn't, their customer service is excellent, and they'll let you know. I'll give you an example. I originally ordered this, and I wanted the engraving, but due to the COVID last year, they told me that they couldn't guarantee when I would get it. But they called me, and they said, Mikey, they're like, do you want this one without engraving? We have it in inventory. We'll ship it now, or do you want to wait? Or we have these other ones with engraving, and we'll send it to you. And the guy responded via email immediately. All of the crap talking that I've heard about Ultra Sabers, I don't know where these people are getting it from. I bought 3 lightsabers from Ultra Sabers, and every time I've had a completely enjoyable customer service experience. Now,
it's not Ultra Sabers. When I ordered mine, I ordered a custom saber. Okay, you're talking about nickel. It was nickel instead of the airbrushed aluminum.
Yeah,
custom,
like medieval.
And then it's Obi-Wan's lightsaber from episode 2, I think.
Right.
That
now, this
lightsaber took 7 weeks, but that's because it was stuck in a warehouse in Texas. That's literally the post office. The post office let it sit in a warehouse in Texas for 4 weeks before they moved it on to Missouri.
Well, anyways, this one here is Saber Forge. Now, this is an elegant, handcrafted. These are generally made to order. Even on the website, when it says that we have them in inventory, I have bought 2 of these I bought at least 2 from Saber Forge. You're basically looking at a wait time of 8 to 12 weeks. They're much more expensive. Now, they're much more elegant. They have incredibly intricate designs and stuff, but because these generally, they're so elegant, these aren't something that you're going to want to fight your buddies with and that, because they cost a lot of money, and these things here, if you drop them, you're going to scratch them and you're going to have a problem. I mean, so they're beautiful, they're nice to have in your collection, but it's more something you're going to get because you want it on the wall or you want to cosplay with it, versus an Ultra Saber. These things are built like trucks. I've dropped this thing multiple times because I suck with it. As Jedi Master Paul will probably tell you, or as he probably knows, I suck at this stuff. And so when I start twirling things go flying. Like I take out drywall and trees and squirrels and all that crap. So, but this thing here is like it's a champion, and it's very solid. So, which is better? I don't know. It depends what you're looking for. Overall, pound for pound, I'm going to say for customer service, price, selection, and variety, and quality of what you pay for what you get, go Ultra Sabers. If you don't mind spending a crap load of money for something that's elegant and pretty, but you're probably never really going to use it, you're just going to stare at it, and you can spend your money and not wait to get anything for it for like 3 months, go Saber Forge. This is one of the highest quality lightsabers on the market, period. But it's finicky, and it's like buying a high-end sports car versus like a Toyota 4x4. So it is what it is. So I recommend Ultra Sabers pound for pound.
Heck yeah, that's two lightsabers.
Yeah, one of those we already covered in a previous show.
Yes,
I recommend Robert Pearson's custom lightsaber design.
Well, I would recommend it too if I ever got it.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at on those things.
You know what the problem is that we put him in charge of diversity implementation for the 7 pillars of diversity at Echo Base Network, and the implementation got him bogged down.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. That'd be the worst thing. You want?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Highlight that comment from Purple Valkyrie. I would love to see. You see that she's got a little comment. I would love to see Darth Poppy do a demonstration with the lightsaber. Well, Darth Poppy would give you a demonstration 1-on-1 with his lightsaber. Nick, get it? Get it, Nick?
Hey, get off my Kool-Aid, Mexican Iron Man.
Oh, what? What are you talking about? Hold on. I called dibs. Dibs. Double dibs.
You can't
I
call
called after
dibs.
dibs.
You can't call dibs on a girl that's not your Mexican Iron.
Well, we're having a space sci-fi fantasy show right now. I can do anything I want. If this is a fantasy in my dreams.
Yep. So at the meetup, me and Mexican Iron Man are gonna fight for who wins the heart of Purple Valkyrie.
Oh no. Oh shit. Uh-oh.
Okay, so wait a minute. So we're gonna have a fight with Mexican Iron Man and Paul from the Star Wars guys. The winner of that match will have a cage match with an unknown fighter, and then we're gonna have Mexican Iron Man versus Nick for the honor of taking Purple Valkyrie out on a date.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. See,
right.
I'll probably pull an Indiana Jones and just Mike will be over there doing all some sort of fancy twirly stuff, and I'll just pull out a gun and be like, "Boom, game over."
You'll like pull out a blaster. I'll be like, I'll come out with, because I already got my outfit going, bro. You haven't even seen it on screen yet. I got the Sith shirt now. I just ordered the Sith pants from Etsy. I'm coming out full regala. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to, but I got that hood thingy that came 2 weeks ago. This is becoming Thunderdome. I don't know if I'll even be able to see Master Jedi Paul because that stupid ass hood. I mean, how the hell did Palpatine fight in these late? I mean, how the hell did he fight with that damn thing, that hood on? Darth Vader. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the Emperor. How the hell did he fight with that thing on?
He didn't. You never. Well, you see him fight Yoda. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I mean, like I can't even like see the computer monitor when we're doing these shows when I have my Sith thingy on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you see shit? You know what I mean? Like,
well, so did you see Luke in Mandalorian chapter 16? Like that whole before he revealed his face, I'm like, how has he seen anything? But you can go back to when he had the helmet with the blast shield down in episode 4. He doesn't really need to see.
No, you don't know. You don't need your eyes to see with Force.
Yeah.
Well, I need to see where the lightsaber's going so I don't cut my left wrist off.
Well, that's why Jedi have the Force.
Yeah.
That's why they say unless you're a Jedi, don't use
that would be like this the whole lightsaber fight. I'll be like, Master Paul, where are you? I'll be like, Master Paul, the Force, the Sith Mexiclorian counts are strong with me. Shit, I'm winded. I'm winded and I haven't even started fighting yet. See this thing? Look, and if I put it all the way on, it's like this.
Uh-huh.
I need like a little mobile fan that I can put around my neck that goes. So when I'm fighting, I'm like. Look, I'm falling down. Like I gotta get back up above the camera line. I think I'm going to get my ass kicked. Hold on. Let me check the odds in Vegas. Current odds in Vegas for Mexican Iron Man V versus cage match with Jedi Master Paul. Hold on. I'm looking up on the board here on the Vegas thing. Odds of Mexican Iron Man winning 7.8 billion light years to 1. Wait, what?
Well, if you want odds, let's go over odds real quick. Recently, there's been a back and forth between Mikey Sutton over at Geekosity, and Doomcock. There's also been some other people, as Stephanie from the Smuggler's Cantina brought up earlier, that have gotten involved in this little back and forth, talking about whether Kathleen Kennedy is going to lose her job or not.
Yep. Yeah. We're going to be covering this tonight as well.
Sutton reported that Kathleen Kennedy is staying. Doomcock is reporting that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving. All of this is, of course, rumors from both sides.
Yep.
Sutton's bringing up rumors and sources that claim she's sticking around. Doomcock's bringing up rumors and sources that say Kathleen Kennedy is on the way out. And I want to bring up something before we really dig into this. I want to show you guys something, because this is something that nobody ever brings up and nobody ever talks about. At least they haven't in the last couple of years, because this was important, back at the beginning of the fandom. These are the box office statistics for Star Wars. I want to show you something. Under Kathleen Kennedy, you've got $2 billion for The Force Awakens. Now, a lot of that money came from people loving Star Wars.
Yep.
Who just naturally love Star Wars. So you've got $2 billion going to The Force Awakens. Now, this kind of split some people. Some people were like, this movie sucks. A lot of people were like, this movie's great. But then you get The Last Jedi. Made $700 million less than The Force Awakens. Now, it still made over $1 billion. And you get to Rise of the Skywalker, it's still made over $1 billion. Rogue One made over $1 billion. The only movie that was a complete and utter financial failure under Kennedy was Solo, a Star Wars story.
All right, quick question on Solo, a Star Wars story, because I've heard this argument, and I don't know if you know the exact numbers, Loki, or not, but I've heard people argue that Solo actually didn't lose money. I'm in the camp of it did lose money, but I've heard people argue, no, it actually didn't lose money. It got its money back and made a very tiny bit.
No, because they are not adding advertisements. They're not adding the advertisement budget. If you add the advertisement budget, Solo lost money. Disney lost money with Solo. If you add all the advertising and all the hype and all the stuff they were throwing out there and all the money they paid for advertising, they lost money.
Yep.
If you do not have that into the budget, then they walked away with $120 million. That is sad.
Yeah.
That is absolutely positively sad.
Yeah, and I would argue that Rogue One, which didn't do as good as the sequel trilogy, was better than any of the sequel trilogy movies.
Yeah, production cost $200 million, global box office just over $1 billion. People were still hyped. This was, of course, before The Last Jedi. Yeah. Star Wars story came out before The Last Jedi. And then we got The Last Jedi, 1.3 billion with a production cost of $300 million. And then you've got Skywalker, The End, which barely made $1 billion.
Yep. This just popped into my head. Just think if they would have done Rogue One for the very first movie out of the gate for Disney, and taken the extra time to actually develop a coherent plan for the sequel trilogy, because Disney was just rushing those movies out, and it was just a complete failure and disaster. If they would have just started off with a single story and not the trilogy, maybe the trilogy might have been a little bit better.
And Stephanie with Smuggler's Cantinas with $4.99 super chat says, actually, Doomcock's sources are backed up by the Atlantic Variety Incorporated, Forbes, and Business Insider. But let's just ignore all that. We're not ignoring. We're not even there yet, Stephanie.
Hold on, Steph. We're not there yet.
Super chat. Here's some scratch for a great show on lightsaber reviews. As far as the cage match, my money is on Mexican Iron Man. Sorry, Paul. Actually, Stephanie, you don't know where we're going with this yet. Believe me, you don't. Because even Mexican Iron Man was shocked when I brought this up. The problem is, with all of this, is that from a Disney's point of view, Kathleen Kennedy has made them money. She is a success. Who she has hired may not be a success. But to Disney, she is a success story. She has made them billions of dollars. From a Disney point of view, which is funny, I actually say point of view because we're talking about Star Wars from a certain point of view.
Yeah.
Disney looks at her like she has made them money. No matter what happens here, whether Kathleen Kennedy stays, whether Kathleen Kennedy leaves, we are still stuck with Disney. We still lose. Doesn't matter at the end of the day whether Doomcock's right. Doesn't matter at the end of the day whether Sutton is right. We're all going to lose because Star Wars is still going to be in the hands of a company that only values the bottom dollar and doesn't value the fans, doesn't value what the fans care about, doesn't value the legacy of these characters and these stories.
So
All
you're
they care
saying
about is
anything that
bottom line.
Favreau and Filoni put out is going to be crap?
No, I am saying that
Well,
as long as
they work for Disney.
as long as Disney owns Star Wars, there's no hope.
Well, I disagree.
I also disagree, but I completely understand where Loki's coming from. Like, I 100% understand where he's coming from. Just my, and I'm not saying Loki is wrong. It could end up being a complete disaster and failure. The thing is, we just don't know yet. I mean, if they come out with something great, and while Disney had it, that would probably be a huge shock to people. And I know a lot of people probably are like, that's probably not going to happen, and it might not. Everything they do could just be complete trash fire. I'm not 100% there on that bandwagon yet, but I completely understand the side of where Loki's coming from.
Well, yeah. Well, let me ask you this question, Loki. Then, so what Favreau did with the end of the Mandalorian? Did you like the Mandalorian? Were you moved by the way that series ended, or were you not moved at all?
Season 2? Oh, I was. I was. We were sitting there watching it live. Me and Dave Bob and Loriana Creel and
yeah, I know, because
we were sitting there watching it live.
Do you remember you called me and you asked me? I mean, this has never happened between us. You called me and you said, "Have you seen it yet?" I'm like, because I was still in bed. Remember, I was on West Coast time, right? And I said, "Have I seen what?" And you're like, "You haven't seen the next episode?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not even awake yet." He's like, and I could hear you frustrated because you wanted to talk about it, and he's like, "I heard you. You know that thing you do when you go like, okay." Yeah, exactly. That one. I love it when you do that. That one. And you're like, okay, when you watch it, call me. I'm like, okay, Logan's called me. I'll get out of bed. And then I called you like an hour and a half later, and I was just like, Well, here's the thing. Look, let me just say this. There's a lot of angles to this whole issue. And I have two things to say. Point number one. Number one is this, is that I'm holding the jury open, and I'm holding the verdict open, and I'm holding hope alive, because the guy who gave me the best moment that I've had in a long time is the guy who's now in charge of things that are happening over there. And by the way, it's no coincidence that that the two series that they are working on weren't done concurrently, that they're being done sequentially, because the guy in charge of it, aka Favreau, etc., wants to be involved in it and knows what, wants to give us what I think he wants to give us with something that we're going to like. So, yes, it's true Disney's a crap company. Yes, it's true that they shit on us left and right. Yes, it's true that Disney's full of crap. But in any organization, there's always diamonds in the rough. And Favreau is my diamond in the rough. And until he fails again, and he is unsuccessful with his shows that he puts out, until that day, I stand by hope. Maybe it's not a lot of hope, but it's some hope.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same boat. And I just real quick, I want to give a big shout out to Adega Outlaw. Adega Outlaw is freaking awesome. Adega, I just got your DM, brother. Man, I am a fan of yours, and the shows you do with Loki and the takes and the knowledge that you bring is just spot on, and just so many people just don't understand and realize some of the stuff that you talk about, and it's just great. So just a little side note, shout out to Adega.
And shout out to Dig. I want to thank him for his compliment where he said that Darth Poppy proves that guys with a body type of Jabba the Hutt can be great lightsaber duelists. Thanks for the backhanded compliment, Dig.
I've got two super chats.
When I read it, it's like, oh, he believes in me. And then I read it again. I'm like, wait. Why doesn't that feel like a compliment now?
I've got two super chats I've got to catch up with. Deborah Young with the $4.99 super chat says TLJ is what killed Solo. The fans were so pissed they started a major fan boycott.
I just real quick on that, Loki. I would agree with that, but I would also add that even people that like The Last Jedi, even a lot of those people didn't want to see a Harrison Ford non-existent Solo movie. So
nobody asked for a Solo prequel, and I think the casting was a huge problem in that movie.
Which movie?
They made a couple Solo. They made a couple of smart decisions, but the main characters all wrong.
Yeah. If they would have had the deep fake technology down back then, it would have been better just for optics standpoint. But the story there was a lot wrong with
Look, man, I can't handle a guy who's like, maybe having feelings for a robot. I mean, that's just a little too outside Mason Airman's wheelhouse, if you know what I mean, Loki. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all that was just a mess. It's just
there's another super chat.
There is. With Cardinal Sin with $5 super chat, I will put Bitcoin on Darth Poppy against anyone else after seeing the whooping he gave Paulie. Man, he's a machine. Don't bet against Darth Poppy.
Yeah!
You and Paulie had a lightsaber fight?
Oh, yeah.
Darth Poppy got a lightsaber ready to fight. He's gonna slice up Mr. Jedi Paul. He's got a red lightsaber, gonna have a red lightsaber in his face, and there's gonna be Jedi Paul blood all over the place singing, we will slice Paul. Slice Paul. You know what it's gonna be? Oh shit, the damn thing won't stop now. I did like a turntable. I like old school stuff. Well, it'll be the second Paul that I would have sliced 2 years in a row. Yeah, me and Paulie from Latino Slant. It's on his video or his Twitter somewhere. He kept saying, Mike, because I had the lightsabers in the truck. He's like, oh, we got to do it. So we got to his house, and he's like, come on, let's do it. I'm like, dude, you don't want to do that. Like, come on, let's do it. I'm like, dude, I'm like, plus, my knee hurt, my leg hurt. I'm like, I was even fatter then than I am now. I hadn't lost any weight yet. And he's like, no, let's do it. I'm like, all right, pick your lightsaber. He goes to the truck. He picks a lightsaber. I pick a lightsaber. Dude, it was awful, Nick. It was like, it was over before it began. And his girlfriend, Romy, was taping the whole thing. So I sliced him and diced him in front of his girl.
Oh, shit.
He probably felt like a chump.
Yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand, though. So, Loki, one of the things that you and I think it's an opinion we might share that I know that has been unpopular that I've said on a few shows, which is that I made the comment that I don't think it matters whether I took the position on several shows for about a week and a half that I didn't matter whether she stays or whether she goes, because to me, I made the comment that I didn't care if she leaves next month. I didn't care if she leaves in December. I really don't care if she leaves in a year from December. Now, I do think ultimately she will be gone, but
yeah, she's not going to live forever.
Well, I don't even think she's going to be there more than all that. I don't even think she's going to be there all that long. And having worked in corporate America, I have a very keen understanding of how long it takes for new regimes to come and to come into power and go out of power and replace people. And the way I looked at this, the comment that I made on a couple of other shows on a couple other networks was it doesn't really matter. Then Andre and I got into a bit of a debate, which I got into the same debate, I think 2 or 3 days later. I think it was with Doomcock. But start with Andre, where Andre pushed back on me, and he says, well, Mike, it does matter because she's such a divisive, explosive figure that if she stays and her contract is extended, there's a lot of people that'll just be up and done, more so than they already are. And I'm
there already are people that are just up and done.
No, that was my point. My point is that I'm up and done, but I'm not really up and done because if Bro gives me something that I like, I'm going to watch it. I mean, I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to anything that's got his name on it. I'm going to watch that show. And I I went to cancel Disney Plus after the Gina thing, but then I got crap from my 8-year-old because he's like, "Dad, I can't watch my shows anymore." And I was like, "Oh Jesus, I forgot I had it for him."
Shit.
It's like
June Wong with the $5 super chat. Poppy not into machines. Oh, Poppy, you broke Mexican Friday's heart. Stephanie from the Smugglers Camp with the $4.99 super chat said, "I called him awful Aaron Yuck for a reason." I'm assuming you mean Aaron, right?
Yeah. He wasn't. I was not a fan of his in Solo at all.
No, I don't think I was a fan of anybody in Solo. I think I liked Woody Harrelson, and he gets the shaft early. So
yeah,
what was the point? Okay, when you're looking at this though, whether or not they get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, the culture at Lucasfilm is there.
Yeah,
this is what I've been saying for the past 6 months. The culture at Lucasfilm is there. And the reason why the culture of Lucasfilm is there is because of the culture of Disney. Like Disney, don't like Disney. It is their culture that has invaded Star Wars.
Yeah. And just to add to that, Loki, I was listening to another stream the other day. I cannot even remember what channel it was, but somebody was talking about how they believed that what Kathleen Kennedy was saying in that interview with George Lucas and the other lady who was interviewing them, when he was saying, I just thought it was a perfect time for Kathy, and she was saying, our goal is to
protect those characters,
protect the characters, and they were saying, we believe that what she was saying at that point in time was true.
That was me. That was me.
Oh, was that you?
That was me, brother.
Okay.
That was me. I completely believe that what she sat there and said in her mind, she was there to actually do. And then once Disney came over and took over and said, "This is what we want," you either do it or you get let go. You do your job or you get let go. If you stand up and you say, "Hey, no. I'm then okay, we're gonna get rid of you and we're gonna get someone in there that's gonna do exactly what we want them to do."
Yeah,
I disagree.
Yeah, and I hear Mexican Iron Man disagreeing with that, but I am in the camp of, I don't believe that is 100% outside the realm of possibilities.
Look, you guys got to differentiate between what's Disney culture, what's woke culture, and what's Hollywood culture. And these three spheres of influence certainly overlap, but by no means are they congruent and exactly overlap.
But okay, there's a history though, Mike. See, that's the thing. There's a history,
and there's also a brand new CEO named Chapek who comes from an accounting and tax background that right now it's canceling contracts left and right and replacing some of these woke idiots over at Disney. But it takes a while for it to happen. And I'm not talking just Kennedy. I'm talking about he's trying to change the culture to where an accountant takes over versus these creative morons with this wokeification stuff. And you can check the Disney bulletin boards about which positions, since Chapek actually took over in earnest about 4 or 5 months ago, now are up for our positions that are open and people that have announced they're leaving, including Lucasfilm people, hires within the Lucasfilm organization, as well as at the corporate office. There's a new sheriff in town and he's trying to change the culture, but it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not so embedded. If it was so embedded, then Iger who after he was no longer CEO and president would have still been CEO and president. Instead, the investors from Wall Street have pushed them up and off, and there's a new sheriff in town, but this guy who got named a year and change ago couldn't take over and do what he wanted to do. Number one, Iger came back and basically reasserted his position. Number two, he had the COVID hit. So really, Chapek has only had about 3 to 4 or 5 months to come back, and he is a totally different personality. He's now on the bad side of it. He is an accountant and he did shit work for a lot of the theme parks, and that's why a lot of them are falling apart. But he is not a woke guy. He does not care about Hollywood parties. He does not care about the 7 pillars of diversity. In fact, when he did say 7 pillars of diversity, that speech was written by the public relations department head that is now canned and fired and gone. And when he's done the last 2 conference calls, he hasn't brought it up once. Not one time have you heard about the 7 pillars of diversity on the investor calls. And I know because I've listened to them, I read the transcripts, I read the reports, and I reported on it. So there's a new sheriff in town, and just because this has happened doesn't mean it's always going to happen.
Yeah, and real quick, also, I just want to respond to a comment that Cardinal Sin put that said, "You can get rid of KK, but there's still the Lucasfilm Story Group." Now, this is one of the things that I talked to Cameron about that I'm going to also bring up tonight on tonight's show, because Cameron experienced what I'm about to say. When he was working on a show and he found out that another that somebody else was taking over the studio, he basically told everybody, start packing your bags, we're about to be gone, and everybody's like, what? Yeah, we're not going anywhere. He's like, just trust me. Every time new management comes in, they want to replace everybody with their own people. So if KK's gone, I think that this whoever comes in and takes over is probably going to replace that story group with their own people. Whether or not that actually happens, who knows? But that's just after talking to Cameron a couple times in the past and hearing what he's had to say, I think that that's a good possibility, at least.
What happens if KK it does get let go and gets replaced by someone like Headland?
Oh, it'll be more the same, if not worse.
Agreed.
It's all going to come down to who they're going to put in charge. And the thing is, when you're talking about corporations, they're looking at, and this is another problem with Hollywood when you have the comparison with people, artistic people who are good at writing stories, telling stories, creating characters, that sort of thing, and then the Harvard graduates, the accountants, and the numbers people who are not artistic, that just look at the numbers and the finances and stuff, and they're looking at. And when we had Tim Rose on the show, he was saying the same thing. For those of you who don't know, Tim Rose played Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi and in the sequel trilogy, and was Howard the Duck. But that was one of the things he noticed in Hollywood towards the end of his career in Hollywood, was it being run by basically, young college grads, fresh out of college, that were basically, statistics people, not artistic people that looked at the audience and what people were wanting and that sort of. They were just going by numbers and spreadsheets and all that sort of shit.
I mean, Cardinal Sin, I love you for supporting me with the lightsaber, but you're 100% wrong when it comes to your comment about the Lucasfilm Story Group, because that was created post KK, under KK. And if you want to do an analysis, I don't have enough time to do it here because we only have another 20 minutes left in the show. But I have gone down that list of people that are supposedly in that story group. Not only are they whippersnappers of zero import and zero power and zero reputation in Hollywood, but almost none of them have put out anything at all recently. And they're not going to put out anything major recently. The only thing that's going to happen is one or two projects that they're left that they're clinging on to. All of the damage that they created and did has come out. And you know what? That last failure with Geode and that freaking graphic novel that they tried to put out, it was crap. It landed like a thud and nothing. And that was a year and a half ago, by the way. Yeah. So you have nothing to fear. Fear me fearing the LucasArts story film group. No, I fear that Bob Chapek might get muscled into making a bad decision like Loki's talking about. Loki brings up an incredibly brilliant point, which is that it all depends on who the replacement is. And if the replacement is another wokeified person like Loki's talking about, then we are absolutely doomed. And that is another reason why I think this is where me and Loki are way on the same page, is that if that replacement happens with someone else that's wokeified, it doesn't matter if KK stays or gone or not, because someone else is going to come in that's wokeified. Now, I might disagree that it's going to be because it's a Disney person, but they could pick someone out of Hollywood. They could pick someone from another studio. And just as Loki brought up a great example of someone they could put, and they could put someone that necessarily isn't a Disney person, but has that wokeified attitude. And then trust me, KK may be the least of our problems. We could get someone infinitely worse at Disney if she goes, and I think that's something that Loki's got his finger on the pulse on. Now, will it happen? I don't know. Could it happen? Maybe. And if it does, don't be surprised. We don't know. There's currently a battle going on, and who knows if the accountants are going to win or not. The jury is still out.
Yeah.
The problem is, don't put all your what I'm trying to say here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is don't put all your money on KK leaving and everything be getting fixed.
I 100% agree with that.
I
for sure.
100% agree with that completely, because
Yeah.
I think there's like we were talking before the show backstage, Loki, there's 100 different factors that have to line up perfectly, and this is just one.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, just like Chris Persher just said, they can hire Alex Kurtzman. I mean, Hollywood loves hiring JJ's underling after all. And yeah, like when Alex Kurtzman got his contract renewed, I mean, Star Trek is in complete shambles compared to Star Wars. It's way worse off, in my
That's
opinion.
right. And they
And
kept him. And
and they
they
kept
kept
him
him.
anyways. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
and they're not making any money off of that. They're losing money on Star Trek. You know,
CBS is losing money on a streaming service. Yes.
yep. And so that's the thing with corporations in Hollywood and stuff. It's like when you're in that club, if you're playing by their rules and playing in their sandbox like a good little boy or girl, then you can keep on trucking along. You know, uh, Alex Kurtzman should be like homeless and jobless right now, and
Yeah.
he's good to go for the next several years. So I would not be surprised if Kathleen Kennedy stays, but and I would prefer her to be gone, but whether she's there or not, I just want good Star Wars. If they give us good Star Wars, then I don't care if she's there or not.
Loki
we,
brings up an excellent point when he brought up those box office numbers, because the only other
yes.
person I've ever heard talk about that besides you, Loki, is Cameron. And that's what he says. He suggests that her power and influence and reputation of being, whether we think she's powerful or a lame duck right now or not, is a bit irrelevant from the public perception standpoint, because she'll hang on to that perception of, oh, I was the person that presided over these multi-billion dollar results.
Right.
Even if they went down. And you bringing up those box office numbers, that's a very important thing, because I'll tell you this much: in the world of politics and big business, perception is what matters much more than integrity.
Let's say they're listening to the fandom. Let's say the Disney executives are actually listening to the fandom.
Right.
What are the fandom's problems? Story, substance, how they treated those characters. Kathleen Kennedy did not write those movies. She did not make and direct those movies. That falls on JJ. That falls on Roundhead. Those are the guys that made those movies, and those are where the complaints go to. You can say you hate Kathleen Kennedy all you want to. These are the guys that wrote, directed, and made these movies. She was in the background, moving the money around, making sure shit happened. She did her job. Whether anybody wants to agree with that or not, she made that money for Disney. They wrote the stories. And that's what everybody bitches about, is the stories and how the characters were treated and how the legacy was ruined and how we never got the Holy Trinity in a movie together. That's not on KK. That's on JJ. That's on Roundhead. Yeah. These are the guys that did that. And that's exactly what those investors will look at when they look at those movies. And if they are listening to the fandom, that is what they're going to look at. They're not going to look at KK, because KK made them billions of dollars.
Yeah. And just real quick, I saw Dave Bob posted in chat, there will never be good Star Wars as long as Disney is in control.
That's right.
I would slightly disagree with that, only because there was a lot of episodes in The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 that I thought were good. Now, I had my complaints about Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, and there was several of them. throughout the
Can I bring up the
episodes.
one where you like we're bitching about Boba Fett gaining weight or not fitting into a suit, and you and I got into it for like 3 or 4 days on Twitter.
Yeah, Boba Fett's man bod, which that was literally just an observation on my point.
Loki, can you believe me and Nick got in a fight over fucking Boba Fett of all people?
Dude, I was getting
believe
it from every direction. Comment section on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. I was getting it from everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with everybody? I'm literally making an observation. He has dad bod.
Yes.
It's not the same. You put them side by side. This is factual. You put them side by side. Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett next to Mandalorian Boba Fett. There's an obvious difference that he's put on weight, which is fine. I still liked him coming back. I was literally just making an observation, and people freaked the fuck out. And I'm like, what's wrong with people? But whatever.
Here's if I were Bob Chapek.
Deborah Young asks a really good question real quick. Does anyone have numbers on how well the streaming service did on the behind the scenes August 25th show with Mark Hamill? No, because Disney will not release those numbers, and Disney is never going to release those numbers. You can beg, plead, you can bribe. Disney's never going to release those numbers.
That's the thing about streaming services. They can hide all that shit. They can hide all of it. They don't have to release any of that stuff. Now, I'm sure that, don't they have to release that stuff during the investors meeting, though?
Nope.
Okay.
No, and I mean, there's this stupid accounting audit rule that says that if you have, this is how they're getting around it, Nick. Okay, this is because normally the answer would be yes, but here's how Disney's getting around of it. They're saying we developed our own proprietary service that's unique in the marketplace, meaning spinning and building out this Disney Plus thing, right? And because of that, and it's our proprietary thing, then we're not going to really, we may or may not release information as to subscribers overall. We're not going to commit to that, and we're not going to give details as to which shows are popular or not, because it's proprietary.
Who's paying or not? Remember, I got a whole year of Disney Plus for getting 1 year of Xbox Ultimate, whatever. I got a whole year of Disney Plus for free. For buying into the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass, whatever, where you get gold and Game Pass together.
That's how I got it.
I got it from Verizon because I had a Verizon phone at the time. And so I got it for the first year that it was available.
Did you also get a sports thing, Loki? I'm curious. Did you also get like the ESPN thingy for the NFL? No,
I just got Disney Plus for 1 year for free. And they're not going to tell you who got that for free and who didn't. They're just going to give you a number of new subscribers. In this area, we got this many subscribers for this, which is why you actually got to go in and you actually have to cancel your account. You can't just like turn off the service. You've got to completely delete your account.
Right. That's what I did. And that's when my kid lost his mind. Yeah. Hey, so here's what I would do if I were Chapek. I'm just going to say this, and this is going to be probably hugely unpopular, but I'm just saying from all my experience, if I were sitting in this chair, this is what I would do. I would, and I have all these competing interests around me. I got wokies over here. I got chills over here. I got pissed off fandom over there. I got guys I need to bank on for the future. I'm trying to move out idiots. I'm trying to move in my team. This is what I would do. I would let Favreau guide things as much as possible. Try to deal with the drama from ScarJo and other idiots that are trying to kick me out. I'd let Kathleen Kennedy be a lame duck and ride off into the sunset, whether that's 3 months from now, 6 months, or a year from now. And then what I would do is that if Dave and Jon Favreau do a good job, then I would announce one of them at the Star Wars event that just got rescheduled to the year after next. And that's when I would announce who the new head is for Lucasfilm. And I would just bump it off and push it back because I got other big things to do and figure out, such as I got the day and date stuff to worry about. I got all these movies that are coming out. I got battles over here with these idiot, talent that, shoots their mouth off when they should shut the F up. And that's what I would do. I would just let her right off into the sunset. Let me see what these guys do with these other series. Let me see if this Mandalorian magic can happen. If it does, then maybe I'll pick out one of them to be the new head of Lucasfilm, and Kathleen can run into the sunset. Maybe Indy 5 makes money, maybe it doesn't. But I got other problems and I got other things I do with. And the biggest problem that I have if I'm Chapek is my credit rating is stuck at B+, and it's been stuck since last November. And the cost for doing business is ridiculously high right now. That's what I would do.
Absolutely. And really quick,
Yeah.
before we get out of here tonight, today, Bob, to mark the Infinitely Tired, to our good friend Clobbering Times, to all of our friends in Louisiana, stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Be careful. If you got to get out of there, get out of there, but stay safe.
Yeah, I got an
Above
extra
all
bedroom in
means.
Birmingham, Alabama. If one of you guys need it.
If anybody who's one of our good friends is in those states and you need a place to stay, you come up to South Carolina and I got you.
So,
Birmingham's
guys,
a lot closer.
Yeah, I know Birmingham's a lot closer, and you're a lot more fun than I am. But hey, whatever. So if you're looking for a tax and accounting good time, with that sounds way to undersell.
This sounds like a pickup line.
Yeah, God, it sounds like a tax and accounting good time. Like who? Yeah, that's why I could never do an online profile. Short Mexican, kind of chubby accountant is seeking out. I mean, who the fuck's gonna respond to that? Loki, the right answer right there was thousands and thousands of people. You missed it. Loki, let me ask you a question. If you were Chapek, what would you do?
I would clean house.
Fast.
I would clean house fast. I would clean house. Of course, I am a Favreau fan. I've been a Favreau fan.
You have
since he did. Oh my God, what was it? Was that early movie he did? Oh man, it's one of the.
Well, I remember talking about
Swingers. I've been a fan of Favreau's forever, since before the Iron Man movies,
right.
Since his very, very early movies. I have been following Favreau around, and I'm a huge fan. Do I think that he wants the job of writing the ship? No, I think he wants the job of being a creative and doing what he does. Guys, he does not need to be behind the desk doing the accounting. He does not need to be in charge of all the projects. He needs to be allowed to be a creative, and he needs to block for Poloni like the fridge. That way KK doesn't get her fucking shit in Poloni, and Poloni's not bending the knee every 5 minutes going, yes, I will make an Uber present day bullshit story in Star Wars. Present day bullshit doesn't belong in Star Wars. It's a galaxy far, far away from a long time ago. Present day doesn't have anything to do with it. Leave it out of it.
Yeah.
Clean house. Get rid of the shit. Get rid of the drama. Get rid of the people that have been a stain on Star Wars. Get rid of them, especially that one fucking bald rat bastard motherfucker that likes to talk shit on Twitter. Get rid of him.
Huh?
Get rid of them.
Well, which one? Who are you talking about?
The writer, the guy who did the comic book.
Pablo Hidalgo?
Pablo Hidalgo. Get rid of fucking Pablo Hidalgo.
He's the worst.
Get rid of all of them. Anyone that has run their mouth publicly, anyone that has besmirched the name of Star Wars, anyone that has been a stain on Lucasfilm, get rid of them, restaff, and start from the beginning. Pull in people that had creative input in the EU, ladies and gentlemen. Because those people kept Star Wars alive when we had nothing. And there's a reason why they were so good at doing what they did.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You're not going to get Lucas back. You're never going to get Lucas back.
And who's to say if Lucas came back, it would be any better?
That's right. Because you've still got Disney in charge of it.
Yeah.
Loki?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I got to bounce off here, but I wasn't going to say anything to either of y'all till I jumped on here, but if either one of y'all want to join the show tonight, you're more than welcome. Coach is out, so I'm going to be running things.
I'm going to watch the show. I think I'm going to. I'm just going to watch it because you got a pretty full group though. But Loki, you should go. Hey, look, I got an interesting look. Look what I just got in my email. Loki, October 23rd. There's an my Oxford mini reunion is happening this year.
Oh my God.
Oxford, Purple Valkyrie, look out, hold on. People in the UK, if I can swing this, I'm gonna cross the pond and I'm gonna go to my Oxford reunion on October 23rd. Look, it just came in. Breaking news. Loki, oh my God, I have the best idea. Do you think there's a market over there for the Mexican Iron Man Loki Mornings of Mischief man thongs?
No.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
What if I sign them as Darth Poopy? Get it, the Darth Poopy collection instead of Darth
No.
Poppy?
No. No.
Okay.
You don't talk about a stain on Lucasfilm. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Nick, for popping on here and discussing this. I know this is a crazy ass topic. I know you're going to talk about it later. And I didn't know that before we decided to talk about it. I didn't know you were going to be talking about this. The rumor mill out in full force. Who's going to be right? Who's going to be wrong? I think no matter what happens, we're going to lose anyway. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a interesting conversation, and that's why I was gonna say if either one of you guys want to come on the show tonight with Cameron and Purple and Saggy and my friend Brittany, you guys are more than welcome because I really want to get a lot of different perspectives because a lot of different people have different opinions of all this, so it's a real diverse panel tonight for sure. But I think Loki brings up a lot of very interesting points. And I don't have anybody on the show with the side that Loki's coming from. So, like I said, you're more than welcome to join if you can, brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Thanks everybody in the chat stream for your great comments. I'm just getting now to reaching them. Too much 77. Everybody, you've been funny, hilarious, and thanks for participating in these shows with me and Loki. We really this isn't even a labor of love. It's just love and fun doing this. Of course, Coach and Nick are two of our best friends on the whole planet, and of course Loki's my brother and my mentor in terms of YouTube stuff. And this is not even a labor of love. It's just pure love and fun. So thanks for everybody for joining us. To me, it's the highlight of my week is doing the show. Even when you guys call me Darth Poopy, it's still a highlight.
Absolutely. And if you want to tell us why you love Star Wars, contact me or Mexican Iron Man either on Twitter or through email. Let us know you have a story you want to tell, and we'll bring you on at the end of the show next week and you can tell it. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us, and we will be back next week with another Echo Base Preshow. Thank you big time, Nick, for letting us do this, and a big thank you to Coach.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are great. Everybody have a great one. Go raid Echo Base Network right now. Get on their stream. Tell them to burn it down. Hashtag burn it down.
No pre-show tonight because I'm running things. So it actually won't start till 7.
It actually won't start till 7, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right. Everybody have a great one. Take it easy, and we will be back next week.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.